Hi everybody! So if you were watching the video just before this, you watched that song that was all about texture. So texture is all about the things that you can feel. So we're going to do this awesome project, but before we start, I wanted to show you these different types of lines. You can make straight vertical lines. You could also make straight horizontal lines. And that goes with every single one of these. Zigzag lines, or you can do them this way. Curved lines, nice and curved. You could do spirals. You could do wavy lines. You could do cross-hatching lines, where you make diagonal lines one way, and then you make diagonal lines the other way. Kind of looks like a bunch of little diamonds. Then you have curly lines, or if you want to call them squiggly lines. And right here you have broken lines, because there's a space in between each line when you're making them. So keep these types of lines in your head, and you're going to get to choose which ones you want to use. What you're going to need for this project is a piece of cardboard, or if you've got a notebook or a folder, something that's a little bit softer than the table, because we're going to put a piece of foil on it. Now, you should have foil in your kitchen, in the drawer. You might use it for cooking, when you're baking cookies, or for covering up any food that you're putting in the oven. Not you, but your parents, of course. But have you ever seen something like this? It's really shiny on one side, super shiny. And on the other side, it's a little more dull. We are going to wrap this piece of foil. You don't want to get a very big piece. Just enough to fit around whatever you're putting it around, because we're going to end up cutting it later. So see, if I just push down a little bit, I can see these crease lines. It's the edge of my cardboard. So I put the shiny side, the super shiny side, down. You'll find out why when we're all finished. And then I'm going to wrap the edges over so that it doesn't slide on me. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do, I know it's kind of hard to see because it's so shiny. Helped a little bit. But we're going to take a pencil. It needs to be a dull pencil. You do not want it to be sharp. If it's sharp, you're going to cut right through the foil and you'll need to start all over again. So I'm going to split my foil up into, I don't know, about five different sections. You could do more if you want. And yours might be bigger if you're using a notebook or if you're using a folder. Yours might be way bigger than mine. But I'm just going to split it. So I'm going to draw a line from one end to the other. And then I'm going to split it maybe this way. You can split yours whichever way you like, but don't press too hard. You will tear the foil. So now I have 1, 2, 3 sections. I'm going to split this one going over. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. I'm going to do one more section. I'm going to do a small section. Right there. They don't all have to be big. It's hard, a little hard to see because it's so shiny. But now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. If you want to do more, you can. In each section, I'm flattening it out so I get all these creases out of it. But in each section, you're going to make a different type of line. These are different types. So I'm going to pick, so in this section right here, I'm going to pick these curly lines. And I'm going to do them kind of going at an angle. So I'm just going to take my time, make these curly lines. I'm not pressing hard. If you press really hard, you will rip the foil. You can see how it's kind of making an indent in the foil. It's really awesome. You can feel it now. Okay, so I'm done with my curly lines. Now I'm gonna do some vertical lines right here in this section. There we go. And then move this up a little. Let's see. Let's do some cross hatching over here. So I'm going to do all these lines going one way first. And then I'm going to go the other way. I got my cross hatching. You can feel it. Don't press down, but you can feel how it's super bumpy now. Let's see. We can do spirals. I love spirals. I'm going to cover this whole area with small spirals and big spirals. You can change your direction, the way that you go. Notice how I'm keeping them close to each other so that I don't have a lot of the flat space of the foil. We want to make sure that we can really use the area as much as we can. So that it looks really interesting with all of these different patterns and designs. If we left a lot of open space, it wouldn't be as interesting and we wouldn't have as many textures. Try to stay in your area. You don't want to go outside of these lines that you made. Okay, so we have all these spirals which look awesome. And then down here, I'm going to do some of those broken lines. Maybe I'll do a broken line and then I'll do a wavy line. And that'll be my pattern. But we have to stick to a pattern. So I have my broken line. And I'm going to do a wavy line. Broken line. 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 Wavy. Now I am finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully open it up and flip it over, and you can see your beautiful creation. You can see all the shininess. If you feel it, you can feel the different textures that you made into your foil. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to follow those creases on the edge and cut out my beautiful masterpiece. Be careful when you're cutting because it can make those really sharp noises on your ears that don't sound very good. And you don't want to hold this too hard or else you'll smush it. Be very careful. Okay, and we have our masterpiece. You can feel the awesome textures that you created. I would love for you to take a picture of yours and put it into the Google form so I can see them. I would love to see what you've created. Have a wonderful day.